Thank you so much for everything. Yes, I've got a question about my account. So I have an Instagram account that is private, but that I made public. Would you recommend I create a business account to
Yeah,
separate the two? Right.
definitely, definitely.
Okay. Wonderful. I will. Thank you so.
Thank you so much. All right, and next up we've got Anita. Anita, we'll bring you up.
Hi, John.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. John,
Good.
actually, I have a question that is not related to what you have teach us just now.
Okay.
So for web creation, which host uh recommend?
What?
Is it host? Huh?
No, I just use lead pages. I mean, the great thing about using these softwares is they host the website for you. So you don't have to pay any. See, a lot of you that say, "Oh, but John, I don't want to pay this much money for, this software," but you're gonna have to pay that money to host your website anyway.
Mm?
So you may as well have it and use one of these platforms. I mean, you can actually get it for free. You can use things like WordPress, but again, it's not that professional. I mean, they got lots of plugins and things, but then it gets a little bit complicated.
Okay, which one would you recommend?
Sam can't lead pages.
Oh, but for the what did you say? The one that you put your own website without the selling and everything.
Google lead pages
This
can
page.
can make websites. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. See you soon. All right. Let me bring up Norella. Are you there? I'll bring you up if you are there. Oh, you may have disappeared. Norella? Nope. Okay. Then you are disappeared. Okay. Ralph, let me bring you up.
There we go. Hi. So I mentioned it yesterday that like I have a lot of ideas and I'm just struggling. I have like a lot of stuff already set up, like a lot of content in a one area, and then like I already prepped to run like a whiskey app, becoming the basically the Facebook of whiskey drinkers, and have already, I don't know, hired like an upstart guy to program half the thing, but it always, all those projects, they stall at a certain point. And so now I'm also like part of a startup and they're struggling with sales. And then I have three friends I already can basically say like, hey, I'll do this for you. And think maybe maybe the, the and I just dive in that, or
So the answer always comes down to what are you most passionate about? Because if you do something that just makes money, you won't continue to follow through and you won't work as hard. Whereas if you do something you're passionate about, you'll actually do it for free, right? And then it doesn't feel like work. So you have to find that medium. So always go for the things that produces the higher ROI, plus something you're passionate about, plus you can scale.
awesome.
Awesome, man.
Cool. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. Next up, we've got Shalene. Let me bring you up. How you doing?
Hi. I have a couple of questions. First of all, thank you too. This has been really, really good. Um, I didn't hear if when you talked about video, does video also do the subtitling, or was there a different site that does the subtitling?
Does it automatically for you?
Okay. Then on the videos that you were talking about with the reels, can you do this on YouTube with regular videos too?
Um, you don't really want to put subtitles on YouTube because YouTube is a
Oh,
format.
I'm sorry, I switched to where you were re-editing the videos on Instagram.
Oh, yeah. So YouTube has also YouTube Shorts as well. So you can take those shorts and put them on YouTube Shorts.
Okay. All right. Now my big question. I am a teacher at a high school for special education students on the whole spectrum. And we've created, or they've created their own little business using Printify, and we're
Oh,
about to launch it. I heard you talk about care holders yesterday. can you explain how that works and maybe give us a way that I can have the students help the students monetize their store a little?
Yeah. So have you heard? So there's a really good site called Patreon. So let me bring it up for you. Patreon. So here it is. And what Patreon allows you to do is allows you to monetize your brand, basically. So all these people can come and they can pay you money. So for example, if I click find creative, if I type in, I don't know, funny, right? So look, kind of funny games, right? So see all the results. So these are all people who are part of this, right? So for example, these have 11,629 members, right? These ones have 7,259 members. So if you click on this, right? Okay, this is funny stuff. But yeah, I mean, they chart like 3,000 posts, 6,545. So what happens is people pay money to basically support their brand. So they're not really paying for the like I'm teaching memberships as a traditional way. They're not really paying to I need content. They're just paying because they want to support. It's all think of it like a donation. So Patreon is very good for that.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. Right. All right. Next up, we've got Sil. Is that how you pronounce? I hope that's how you pronounce your name. I apologize if I. How you doing?
Hi, John. Silke is right.
Excellent.
Thank you for taking me up. I've got a question regarding branded strategies. We've got a corporate brand of international certified breathwork coaches.
Nice.
We've been from beginning, and we collaborate also with other health experts. Now, so far, we have started doing LinkedIn strategies and all the social media strategies on personality brands of our co-founders and the coaches that surround us. Okay. And we've not so much focused on the social media channels promoting the corporate brand. Right. Now, from your last intake, it was the recommendation to rather strengthen the business brand. Obviously, for you, it's easy because it's John Lee and it's a business and it's you as a person. So the question is, how do we use the synergies of that ideally?
So what you want to do is build the personal brand of every single trainer that you have, right? And then you want to co-brand it with this. So for example, I might say John Lee from da-da-da-da-da. And that's actually how I did it. I grew my own name and then I built this other company and I leveraged my name onto the company. Then all my followers started going to the company. So that's the easiest and fastest. And because if you've got a whole array of all these breathwork teachers, they can basically promote your breath coup for you.
That's clever. That's clever because that will also umbrella the experts that we cooperate, because we're also doing cancer coaching now. And so it's like really niche, but also base. We've got a core product, we've got niche products, and then we can actually participate from the expert images of our collaboration, other partners.
And also as well, I think corporate is great because it pays a lot. But I actually think a lot of my students that come to me, they say, John, I just do corporate stuff. I said, if you're just doing corporate stuff, you're missing out on a whole array of other things. And then people say, well, John, it's not really right for B2C because it's the employers that pay for the fees. I said, okay, it's not what you do, it's how you do, it's how you position it. So let's say you are the COO or a CTO of a company, right? Or let's say you just, a manager, or let's say you just do admin, right? What if you reframe it to, hey, are you in your job right now and you're getting a lot of anxiety, right? And you get maybe panic attacks, or maybe you're getting really stressed out right now. Well, this is something we've been teaching companies, but what we found is by working with the employees of the company, we've got some really great results that reduce their stress, reduce anxiety, and increase productivity and your energy. And overall, you'll be much happier. So this is the technique we've been using. So what happens is you start to bleed into from B to B, from B to C, and then they merge into each other. Because what will happen is then you'll get someone at the organization says, oh my God, I took this breathwork course. I feel so great. Oh, what is it? And then they take the book or they take your course to the boss. Boss goes, oh my God, this person's amazing. Let's bring this person in. So you have to feed both like a ping pong.
Yes, you nailed it. We're following that two-pronged strategy already, and this is exactly how it works. So excellent. Thank you very much. Thanks. Collaborate.
Awesome. Cool. Next up, we have Paula, let me bring you up. By the way, if you turn your cameras on as well, I'll be able to see you.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hi.
How you doing?
Johnny. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
It's amazing what you say, and now your information are amazing. So I saw you the first time in Stuttgart. That's why I am here, because I want to follow your lesson. So I have a couple of questions. The first one is about some minutes before you had just talked about for a couple of minutes about multi-level marketing.
Yeah.
I work as a networker for a company based in Dubai. We actually sell hardware and special mobile phone with the cloud minting program. It's a kind of passive income. We receive reward in cryptocurrencies. What you suggest me to increase the sale, to increase customers? And this is my first question.
So the reason why when people come to me with MLM, the reason why first of all, MLM makes a lot of money. I know that. I know a lot of friends that do. But what's quite what happens quite a lot is they make a lot of money in MLM. For some reason, something happens to the MLM and they lose all the commissions, right? So actually, what I want for a lot of people that do this, you want to build your own network, and that network can offer any MLM program. So let's say you offer 10 MLM programs in the same niche, in a health niche. So you might do like forever living products. So you might have another one like, you know, Herbalife and things like that. So, so you build your own network. That means you can leverage into any MLM. So if you want to increase your sales is all about training, right? You got to get people to first buy the product. Once they buy it, then the best referees are the people that use it, and you train them up to be able to promote it. So by doing social media, instead of going, because the problem with MLM is very old school. Go to your phone, contact all your friends, sell them all. Your friends get annoyed, right? So, but if you're doing one-to-many, like hundreds of people here right now, I can do one talk, and then everybody can sign up to become my downline. You see, it's much more effective to do it that way. Then you use online to create a membership, right? And this membership now is your SOP. Instead of you having to spend your time training people, they can get trained with your membership SOP. And then the 20% is when they will actually need your time. So it's actually going to save more time because now you can scale your training.
Yeah, thank you so much. I have the last question, the second last question. So it's about my future job. So close friends of my family, they have a brand that in the over last 14 years was really strong, really famous in Germany and in Asia, also with more than 200 shops. Since 10 years, the company is closed, but they want to start again. What you suggest me to use social network, because you know much better than me, to make the classic advertising through radio or magazine would be really, really expensive, and doesn't mean so.
So here's a good pitch for you. Anytime, and by the way, what Paula's hit upon here is exactly my investment criteria. You find good businesses with good reputation that are basically dinosaurs, right? They don't know about social media, but they've got clients, they're making money, and they're making profit. So you take them, remember what I said yesterday, we take them from old school to new school. Correct. And by doing that, you expand their business. And actually, a really good pitch is this. So when people come to me, so for example, when people finish platinum, they, you know, we talk about how we can partner with them. So I'll say, okay, how much is your business making before you started? So for example, one of my students, Shankar, who's going to come to Bali with me, his business was doing like 300,000. So he came to Bali. I gave him a strategy. His business is doing around 850,000 now. So he's almost hitting 1 million. When he gets to 1 million, after he finishes platinum, I say, look, how much your business making now? Okay, my business is doing 850. I say, let's partner together, right? But anything over 850, so we work together. My goal is to help you drive the sales, drive the marketing, grow the brand. Anything over 850,000 pounds, you split with me 50-50. So that's how you should do it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Excellent. All right. Okay, next up, I'm going to try and bring a few people who haven't been up yet, just to give people a chance to come up. Neo. Let me bring you up. You got a cool name, by the way. Neo. How's it going?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi. Okay, so basically, I realize most of these that I've learned throughout these days are mostly you need to have a content. Basically, it works very well for coaching related stuff.
Anything. Works for
So
anything.
yes, so I realized it works well with coaching, but I realized I just couldn't relate this to my current business, that I don't know how I'm able to sell my business. So
Okay.
I'm basically running a bus transportation. So it's like a physical bus. You need the service, you don't need the service. Yeah, so I really don't know what kind of content I can create to even to link it with the membership site.
Okay. So first of all, when people use your buses, do you get people that use it every single day?
I specialize in ad hoc, so every day is different. Every day is all different clients and passengers.
Right. But people do use the bus. They pay to use the bus, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
So there'll be some regulars and there'll be some non-regulars, right? So
Yes.
so the membership could say, look, instead of paying every time it's like a train. Like, when I used to take a train to London every day, I used to go from Guildford to London, and each ticket I have to pay was £25. Okay, and I pay an extra £5 if I want to use it underground. So £30 every single day. So because I took that trip every single day, you can kind of join, like, you get like a yearly ticket. So every year you sign up for a yearly ticket, which basically gives you 50% off because I'm a regular. So you don't have a train, you have a bus. You could do the exact same strategy. That's number one. Number two, I show you how a taxi driver use social media to become very famous. So this Uber driver would always put like a camera in the back seat, and then have you ever seen those social media when people go, hey, what do you do for a living? Have you seen that before?
Yeah.
So he does a similar thing where when people get into the back of his car, he films that person in the back of the car. They just click record and say, hi, my name is John. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business owner. So now he's created a network, because think about it. Everyone who takes these Ubers, like, I mean, this is Uber Black, so they're all like Mercedes. They're all like entrepreneurs. So he, first of all, uses people as content. People just talk about their days, talk about stuff, really. But what he's now made his Uber famous, his Uber car famous. And now from the back of that, if I was him, I would create a whole network of people who get into the car that are looking to network. So there's so many, and then he's a taxi driver, right? So there's so many different things that you could do, but the idea is to disrupt the current business model and do things differently to everybody else.
Okay.
Got it?
Seems like a big job.
Not a big job. You just need to do things differently. Right? You're already running a bus service, right? So the question is, what problem are you solving? You're solving transportation issues, but the question is, what else could you solve? Like, for example, if I buy a dog, what else do I need? I need dog food, right? So when people buy a bus, okay, I'll give you another example. So a friend of mine, his name is Tony Fernandez. He owns an airline called Air Asia, right? He's very big in Asia. In fact, if you go to my podcast, I actually did an interview with Tony Fernandez a couple of years ago. So Tony realized, he thought, wait a minute, people pay for flights, but what else do they need? How do you get to the airport?
Transport.
Correct. So now he's created an app, right, for Air Asia, where you can order a taxi, transport, it takes you to the airport. When you go to the airport, like, what else do you need? You need insurance, or when you travel. So he's got insurance.
Travel insurance.
So what we do is we use one methodology, like bus riding, but all the other things that come with it. So that's how he's created multi hundreds of $1 million company by taking one transport mode, whether it's taking the train, driving a taxi, having a bus, or an airline. It's exactly the same. People need things. And if you can make it convenient for them, then they'll buy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, getting the sales booking is fine, but how signing up as a membership? Wow, that's something that
I'll give you an example. Like, this is where collaborations come into play. Okay, bus tour, but bus tour to do what? Like, do you know in Las Vegas, they have a bus company, but they partner with a travel company and they collaborate together and they do trips to the Grand Canyon.
Okay.
So imagine all the thousands of people that come through, how much business that they get from that, right? So you could say, oh, by the way, if you're a member of this, every year that you come back, or every time you travel, every time you make a purchase, like a part of your membership includes your bus rides to the, you know, the Grand Canyon, for example. But what if I don't come back next year? Doesn't matter. This travel company does other trips to Italy, to Singapore, to Malaysia, to Dubai. It's all part of the same membership. So actually what you could do is negotiate all these things with all the travel companies, get discounts, and you sell your VIP card. The VIP card gets discounts on all these things that you've just negotiated. You see? So there's so, like, you can turn very bog standard business models into very exciting ones. We just need to, again, have a mentor and a coach to work through that whole process.
Okay.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank
All right. Next up, who do we have? Who hasn't been up yet? Dr. Ali, you've not been up yet. Let me bring you up. And then after this, I'm going to go into the next content session. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you, man. Okay. All right. Let me give you a multi-million-dollar business model. You ready? So here's you. Here's you, and you know how to teach stuff, right? You're really good at teaching. Problem is there's only one of you. So you can only be in one place at the one time, right? So then we go from offline to now we do it online, right? So now you can scale more. Problem is with online, you still have to do the work, right? So what I would do is I would build your brand big. So you have all these people here that want you, and then you teach all the teachers. So these are your teachers. So you have something called a trainer program. You're going to do a certification. So they're going to pay you like $2,000 to $3,000 to learn from you. And all these people, the reason why they'll pay you $2,000 to $3,000 is because now you're going to connect them with these people here for jobs. So these people are going to pay the teachers, let's say $100 per session. And for a part of that certification, you're going to keep 50% of that. So all these people do the work for you. You build the brand so big and you give them the work. Got it? You need to start standardizing everything that you do so it becomes scalable. For example, when I teach, so for example, a lot of you that you've reached out, you said that you want to be John Lee coaches. You have to go through every single training that I have first. You have to go through, you know, this boot camp, our platinum program. You have to go through the social media boot camp, our speaker training program. So you know everything I know. So going through programs kind of certifies you. So now I know that you know the knowledge, and then you go out, take action, you get some results. Then we place you with some of the people. Again, all the people on here want to coach. There's only one of me, but people may not be in a position to pay £5,000 an hour. So I've trained you now, and you say, okay, you can have me or you can have Dr. Ali for half the price. Got it? Awesome, man. Cool. All right, cool. Again, I will take more questions a little bit later as well. How do you apply to be one of the coaches? Vicky, you have to go through Platinum first. So if you go to johnleeplatinum.com, I'll get our team to put the link in there. You need to apply, join, go through the program, get some results, and then we will sort of shortlist people to go through that. Okay, cool. All right, so next session. Are you ready for the next session? Type in ready, and let's get started. Type in ready. Okay. So the next session I want to talk about is different strategies to be able to promote the business as well. So I talked about 6 different conversion strategies that, in my opinion, are probably some of the best out there. All right. So, and these have been proven, tried, and they've been tested. Okay. So these are 6 social media conversion strategies. I want to share this with you. Okay. First one is we want to start looking at social audio. Right. Number 2, if you want to get people to go into your trainings, we have to do Q&A. Number 3, another way that you're able to get your products and services out to the world is to use what we call a mini masterclass. Number 4, ghost followers. By the way, how many of you are ghost followers? Type in yes if you're a ghost follower, right? What's a ghost follower? A ghost follower is someone who consumes people's content, but never ever engages, likes, or comments on the post. Type in me if that's you. I know there's a lot of ghost followers here. Me too. I do that a lot as well, right? Like I'll always watch someone's content, but sometimes I don't always comment or like it or engage, but I'll buy that person's product. So that's what we call a ghost follower. Okay. Next one is IG story selling. IG story selling. And number 6 is what I call your 2-cent strategy. So these are 6 of the social media conversion strategies. Remember, we've talked a lot about social media marketing, but we haven't talked about social media conversion. What's the difference? Right? So all the short strategies, those little videos that 60 seconds long, they get you a lot of what? Right? They get you a lot of views, right? They get you a lot of views. So when you get the views, you get the attention. And if you want to get followers, you must be discovered. Does that make sense? You must be discovered. So some of you missed out. Let me show it again. Okay. So social audio, Q&A, mini masterclass, ghost followers, IG story, and your 2 cents. Now, would you like me to go through each one of these strategies in detail? Type in yes. One says, Jonathan. Okay. So let's start with number 1. Okay. Social audio. Now, a lot of you have heard of social media, but not a lot of you have heard of social audio. Remember, what we're trying to do is this. We're trying to get people, right? So let's say this is our shop. This is our membership. Okay. We're going to do a trial for $1. Okay. And let's say you have all these people on the internet right now. We've got their attention, right? We've used the social media marketing strategies to get people to our page, but coming to our page means that they're not always going to buy. So now we're going to use social media conversion to get them to buy the products and services, right? So when I talk about social audio, there are different formats that we can use. So social audio is like a voice broadcast, right? So how many of you heard of Clubhouse? How many heard of Clubhouse? Right? So Clubhouse, X Voice, they all have these ways to in fact, if I can come here, let me see, start a event. Okay. So this is, a lot of you may not realize it, but on LinkedIn, you can do an event, right? And it says event format. You can do LinkedIn audio event, LinkedIn live event, right? External event link. So when you do LinkedIn audio event, what happens is the people that follow you on LinkedIn and their friends can come here and listen to you talk. Do you know why I like audio so much? Because I don't have to show my face. Now I've got to make sure my hair is nice. I've got to, make sure I've got my gel in there. I've got my makeup on. I haven't got makeup on, I'm just saying. I've got my nice lights on. I've got a nice background. I've got to make sure that, my t-shirt is not creased, right? So social audio is a way for you to do this. You basically broadcast your voice. So, for example, let's say this is you here. And let's say you go to LinkedIn audio. Okay, LinkedIn audio. So all these people are now listening to you, right? So let's say you've got, 50 people listening to you, right? When you talk, these 50 people are now listening to you. Does that make sense? Type in yes if that makes sense. All right. Angela says, my 2024 vision board is on fire, right? Angela, I'm telling you, like, you got to use these strategies. Again, these are the most up-to-date strategies that I've personally used. And some of them are old, but have been reinvented, right? So what I do is I join these platforms like LinkedIn, like Clubhouse, like Wisdom, like Facebook Lives. So what happens is I talk and people listen, right? Jazz says, yes, Clubhouse is where I found you. So basically all you do is this, you roll out of bed in the morning, you download Clubhouse. By the way, full transparency, I am an investor in Clubhouse. That's why I used it a lot back then. All right. And by the way, it's worth like 4 billion now. How cool is that? Right. So they've raised a lot of money and they're reinventing themselves right now. So what happens, I roll out of bed, someone asks me a question, a topic. Let's talk about how I can buy my first property in London today. Okay. So I go to LinkedIn. I say, today I'm going to talk about how to buy property in London. And I say, I'm going live in 10 minutes. So what happens? I'm lying in my bed. I go live and now I'm talking. Hey, everybody, how you doing today? It's like having a conference call. How many of you have been in a conference call before where you talk on the phone and then lots of people are listening to you, typing yes? So all these social media platforms now have a conference call feature, which a lot of you are not taking advantage of. Like Telegram is another great way. Like if I go to Telegram now, right, I can actually launch a audio room within my Telegram profile. All right. So so there's a setting that says live stream, right? So let me take a screen grab of that because I'll put it into there we go. So how many of you used Telegram before? Type in yes if you used Telegram before. Right? So Telegram is also a good strategy. So there's a setting here that says start a live stream. So when you go into your Telegram, you can actually see that there's a setting that says schedule live stream, right? Stream with somebody else, or you can start a live stream. So this is an audio live stream, by the way, right? So this is why you need to build on Telegram. Telegram is a free app, right? You just get members to join, and then you just every day, if you want to, just start a live. And what do? At the end of your live session, you're going to say, by the way, if you love the things that I talked about, you can take a free trial at my website. Does that make sense? Type in yes if that makes sense, right? So you have to do a broadcast channel, Maro, a broadcast channel, okay? So we can do a Q&A on there. We can do a masterclass format. We can do a debate. So, hey, marketing versus sales. I can do conversational themed controversial stuff as well, right? So these are some of the things that we can create. So now let me go into the Q&A and how we actually do what we call a Q&A close. Okay. Kywin says, wow, this is so cool. I use LinkedIn a lot for networking, but didn't know about the audio conference feature. Yeah, it's amazing, right? See, I'm giving you more distribution for doing this. Okay. So our last slide, there we go. Got it? Got it, Barry? Okay, cool. Next one is what we call a Q&A close, right? So what's a Q&A close? So Q&A close are, we can actually start a Q&A room, right? Where people just ask you questions. And what you can do is on LinkedIn, right? So let's say in this example I just gave to you, right? This one here. So let's say this person here has a question. Let's say this person has a question. You can bring this person up here and you two can talk to each other. Is that pretty good, by the way? Type in yes. Type in yes. Everything's pretty good, right? So now you can do some kind of Q&A with that as well. Then what you can do is give really good answers to the Q&A, and then you can keep seeding your membership. You say, by the way, if you love the answer to that, we have more in our membership, jl.club, right? And then you give a call to action, right? So Caroline says, laugh aloud, just found lots of JLVIP audio talks. There you go. You see? So this is a very simple format, right? So you put your room on, right? So some of you asking social audio platforms. There are almost every platform does this. How many heard of Twitter Spaces, right? Twitter Spaces also does this as well. Okay. So Kamal says not getting, okay, write this down. Are you ready? Clubhouse, Twitter Spaces, LinkedIn audio rooms, right? These are the kind of the top three, right? So, and then of course you got Telegram as well. Okay. Warner says, I'm still club.com. All right. Okay. So make sure that you are creating some kind of call to action. Okay. Now let's do a little exercise. What type of Q&As would you do? Like what sort of Q&A rooms would you put on? Right. For example, I might do a Q&A on property. I might do a Q&A on investing in companies. I might do a Q&A on whether we should buy property now or wait for the crash. Right. So I'll give you 30 seconds, a minute to type into the chat box. What are some of the Q&A rooms that you could do, audio rooms you could do? Okay. Few moments, type it in. Ready and begin. All right. Pause right there. Pause right there. Okay. So, guerrilla gardening. Nice. How to improve your sleep. Wow, Charlotte. I think you have a lot of people signing up for that. How to let Richard said how to make lots of money trading forex and flipping real estate. Love it. Right. So you get the idea. Okay. All right. Number 3, mini masterclasses. Right. So how do I actually structure a mini masterclass? So a mini masterclass format is really, I mean, what I used to do is just take the 10 steps, you know, that I said that 30-minute piece of content, rather than just creating a video on it, you can actually use the same script, the same format to do a mini masterclass, right? And what you want to do, you want to sandwich your offer in between the masterclasses. So for example, I might say, hey, here's 10 ways to buy property, but in point 7, I'll say, oh, by the way, if you're interested, you can take a trial at www. and you give your URL. Then you want to make an offer, and then you want to finish off the masterclass. So here's what it looks like. Here's what it looks like. So let's say our masterclass. Remember I said before, we do a 30-minute piece. We put it into video, and then we chop it up into 10 pieces, right? We take the same thing that we do, and masterclass format, it can be audio format, it can be video format. But the idea is that you want to kind of do it live, right? And then, so in this case, let's say I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's where my offer goes right here, my offer. Hey, if you want to learn this, I do have a membership. We talk about XYZ, blah, blah, blah. Go and take a trial right now. Then I do, okay, let's get back to the content, 8, 9, and 10. So that's what I mean when I say sandwich your content and your offer in between your content, right? That's actually one of the best strategies, because what happens is they get the value here. They go, wow, I want to learn more. Then they go to your site, and then you finish off the training, right? Does that make sense? Type in yes if that makes sense. Type in yes if that makes sense. All right. What's the significance with 10 is because 10 gives you enough time to do the content. If you talk about one thing, you don't know what to talk about, right? Whereas 10, you just do that, right? And Vanessa says, yeah, exactly like what I've done. You see, here's the thing, by the way. When you make sales, right? When you make an offer, first of all, in business, your business has to sell something in order to make a profit. Yes or no? Yes or no? Right? So sometimes, like, when you have to love selling, or you find somebody else who loves selling, right? But remember what I said to you, selling is serving. So now, sometimes if someone's like selling all the time, like every hour, sell, like they're trying to offer you a different product like every hour, right? That's going to be annoying. So what you want to do is there's a formula I use called earning the right to sell. Earning the right to sell. So this is how you can really balance it. Because some of you are like, John, if I make too many offers and I feel salesy, but then if I give too much content, then people don't buy. It's like, what should I do? I've spent 20 years mastering the equilibrium of this, right? So you gotta give your audience enough content. You gotta give your audience enough value, and then that gives you the right to then make an offer. Does that make sense? By the way, type in yes if that makes sense, right? So, and by the way, just FYI, if you ever get someone trying to sell you stuff and you feel a little bit icky inside, that's not them, that's you. That's not them, that's you. And here's the thing. If you can't stand people selling to you, how are you ever going to sell to somebody else? Am I right? Yes or no? It's kind of like in the olden days when, like my friends would see someone drive past in a Lamborghini and they'd be like, oh, look at that person. And they start saying bad things about that person. I say, that's why you'll never be rich. Why? Because that person who just drove past, that wealthy person, you're saying bad things about them. That means if you're saying bad things about that person, you can never be like that person subconsciously. Is this making sense? By the way, type in yes, right? So there is a difference between shoving it down someone's throat and being elegant about it, right? Giving people the choice. If you want to do it, do it. No, that's also okay as well, right? So this is what I, again, spent 20 years. Actually, it's what a lot of people come to me for, by the way. So, John, how do I sell more of my stuff without feeling icky about it, right? This is how you do it, right? Because just like yesterday, in yesterday's Q&A, someone shared with me, John, my company is filing for bankruptcy, blah, 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 blah. And I asked the question, I said, well, tell me, like, how are you, like, what's your business right now? Well, I give away all my time and I don't charge for it, right? If you don't charge, if you don't feed your business can't feed you, right? If you can't feed your business can't feed you, right? So and says, you are how you talk to yourself and others. Correct. And a lot of you are saying beautiful, things about this event. You're like, oh, John, I've got so much about this event. Oh, I love your energy. Like, here's another thing. You can't see in someone else on what you do not have yourself. So that means all of you who said those incredible things, you too want to go out and help people. You too want to impact people's lives. It's making sense. So it's a bit of a mindset shift, right? So masterclass. I want to ask you a question. What type of what type of masterclass, mini masterclass could you talk about? Okay, I'll give you again 30 seconds, type it in. Ready? And go. What sort of masterclass could you talk about? Neurodiversity, good. Self-love, financial. I love that, Mark. That'd be so incredible. Feng Shui rules. That's good. Nice. By the way, I have a good friend of mine. His name is Joey Yap. So I was just at Joey's house when I was in Malaysia. And all the things I'm telling you now, by the way, he runs massive events with like 14,000 people. He's one of the top feng shui experts in the world. He, consults celebrities, royalty. Like, he's really a genius at what he does. And all he does is he gives out so much value. And then ministers and celebrities will see his YouTube video and they go, you know what? Can you do my feng shui for me? He gets paid like 100 grand to do it. Right? And then developers will see him doing feng shui for property. Then they'll hire him to go to these, amazing buildings, and he does the feng shui for the buildings. How many things? Pretty cool. Right? So I just want you to see that this can literally work for anything. And if you're going, John, I get that this is powerful, but I can't see how this works in my business, is because you're not seeing the angles. It's because you're not seeing the angles. So you got to, that's why it's important to work with mentors and coaches so you can see the angles. By the way, just FYI, I don't have to be your mentor, right? But the reason why I keep pushing you to get a mentor to coach is because these are people who've walked down further the road than you have, and they've made all the mistakes. So again, I don't have to be your mentor, but what I'm saying to you is when we finish this event, you have to go and get a mentor if you want to achieve results faster, if you want to avoid losing more money quicker, because most people lose money because they don't know what they're doing, right? So it doesn't have to be me. It can be simple. Just make sure the mentor that you get, you resonate with them. They can teach the content. They can transfer the content. They can communicate so you understand it. And they're also patient with you, right? So they can take time to explain it, okay? Brenda says, but are you going to be the coach or the mentor during Platinum? Look, here's the thing. Next year, I have a lot of big plans. I actually said to my team, because I'm slowly sort of moving away from teaching this stuff, hence why I'm getting lots of mentors, Maria. But what I've said is, there's a lot of people that sign up for mentoring programs. They pay $20,000, $30,000. And the sadness of this is that a lot of these people that offer the mentoring programs, they are not the people mentoring that person. They have the team come in and mentor them. Now, here's the thing. With Platinum, I will be personally mentoring you one-to-one group format. So if you enroll this time, just go in, again, I'll get the team to put the link in there. If you enroll for this Platinum, you're guaranteed to have me. Some people said, can I do it next time? You can. But probably then it's probably not going to be me doing the mentoring. So if you enroll now, you'll have me for a whole year and I will be the mentor. But moving forward, it'll probably be my coaches that actually do that. So I'll be stepping back and working more on the business instead of in the business. All right. Okay. Next one. This is a good one. Capturing ghost followers. I love this strategy. So ghost followers is we can create a custom audience from Instagram. So people don't even have to follow you now. And you can create an ad with an offer to all the people that just visited your Instagram site. And then you can do something called a call to action to the sales page, right? And what happens is you pixel the page. So this is a little bit more of an advanced strategy. But let me give you an example of how this works. Okay. So let's say this is your Instagram or your social media. It could be anything, right? So when I hit this page, normally people follow you, right? But if they don't follow you, what do? You can create a pixel on this that says, let's say all these people visit your Instagram, right? It will pixel these 1,000 people. Okay. Then what you can do is, as soon as they hit your site, they will then start seeing advertisements, right? So they'll start seeing ads to go and join your membership. Is that pretty powerful, by the way? Yes or no? It's insane. It's such an incredible, it's what we call a custom audience in YouTube. Well, you can do it in YouTube as well, but it's actually done in Facebook. So if I go to the ads manager in Facebook, right? So let me show you. So if you go to ads manager, go to tools and go to audiences. If I click on that, right, I can click to create a new custom audience and I can select Instagram. See where it says Instagram? So if I select Instagram now, click next, right? I can say, okay, so I can say engaged accounts. So target everybody who has visited your profile, target everyone who's engaged with your profile, target anyone who just visited your profile, not following you, target everybody who saved the post, right? So I can say target everybody who started following me, right? So that means you can target all the people that are following you now. So I can click target all the people that are following me, right? And I can say target everybody who engaged with my post in the last 7 days. How many think that's pretty powerful, by the way? So over the last 7 days, you can now run an ad back to all the people that visited your Instagram page that's not even following you. Now you can keep showing people your ad to go and sign up for your free trial. Daphne says, that's why I keep getting those ads. Exactly. Cameron says, oh my goodness, who knew? You see? How many of you find this strategy very powerful, by the way? Type in yes. Right? One says, bugger, I missed hundreds of people. You see? If you just add that one thing, and again, you don't even have to do this for yourself. A lot of 99% of businesses don't even know how to do this. With the secrets and the strategies you have from me, you can apply this for somebody else and watch how much money their business makes. We want to retarget, right? It's called retargeting. And in social media, we can target people who take certain actions, right? This is why I think it's one of the best strategies that you can use, okay? So, I want to ask you, okay, let's say you create an Instagram page now. What can your Instagram page be about, right? What theme can this Instagram page be about? Okay, I'll give you a few moments. Type into the chat box. Ready and go. Okay, start finishing up. Pause right there. Pause right there. Okay, cool. So how to look 10 years younger, Angie, that's amazing. So if you create that, guess what? You can create a whole audience around that. And here's the thing. Now that you know how to market and find the right audience, you can now retarget them, right? So it's just a really powerful strategy to use. Okay, next up, IG story selling. This is the best strategy that I can tell you about. Okay, so let me give an example. Okay, let's do a test here. I'm going to show you how this works. I want you all to go to my Instagram profile. Okay. So here profile, Instagram.com/John Lee Official. All right. Okay, so if you go to my Instagram, if you go to like this, John Lee, you'll see that there's lots of people trying to pretend to be me. There's like lots of fake accounts. The real one is the one that's got the 2.3 million followers with the blue verified check mark. I don't know if you can see that. You can't see that now. All right. So, and by the way, I don't people John Lee that's asking you to invest in cryptocurrencies and all that kind of stuff. That is an imposter account. Unfortunately, when you get famous on social media, people try and copy your accounts and they start messaging your followers and they try and sell them stuff or scam them. So please be careful. The one the official one is this one with a blue verified check mark with 2.3 million followers. Okay. So once you go to the account, make sure you follow the account, by the way, and make sure you join. There's a broadcast channel there. Can you see where it says marketing, business, and branding tips? One of the biggest strategies you've got with Instagram is you have the ability to broadcast now, right? Can you see where it says broadcast channel? And in fact, you can even create a customized broadcast channel there. So your broadcast channel means, if I do johnleechannel.com. So this one takes you directly to the broadcast channel. So it looks like this, right? So, but if you look at this, I only have like 4,000 odd members. But if you look at this, it gets seen by 3,500. So the open rate is very high, right? The broadcast channel is on the very top. So it's here. You see it? It says broadcast channel right there. So if you click on that, it takes you to the broadcast channel and you join it, right? So here's the key. The broadcast channel gives you the ability to broadcast. But if you notice that anytime you like any of my posts, you comment on any of my posts, how many of you notice that an automated message comes back? Right? Some of you is not available because you haven't updated your app. So you need to update it. So what happens is when you interact with any one of my posts, it sends you a free gift automatically, right? So for example, if you go to the if you go to this my latest post, like this one here or this one, if you click on the one that's pinned on here, I want you to just leave a comment here and just say, hey John, I'm on your training right now, it's amazing. You know, just leave a comment. Oh, I love this strategy. Just leave it, just a random comment, right? Now what happens is as soon as you comment on this post, you should automatically get a message that gets sent back to you, right? How many of you have left a comment and then you're now getting a message coming back to you? Type in yes if you got a DM message. Like the post and comment on the post, right? So that's what we call DM automation. DM. So Vicky got it, Paula got it, Marlene got it. So what's happening is I'm automating the messages. So how does this strategy work then? Right? So the IG selling strategies, we're going to do a story poll. Always start with some kind of question on your story, right? You know, it could be any question. Like, do you want to look younger? Do you want to get better sleep? Do you want to make more money? Do you want to lose more weight? Just ask a question with a yes or no. Then what you do is all the contacts who said yes, what happens is you can now click on that to all the people that said yes, and you can generate thousands of leads really quick, right? And then what you can do on the second story that you do, you can have people comment on your story now, right? So when you comment, so I say, hey, by the way, if you want to learn how to, you know, invest in property, comment yes. And then what I asked them to do, I asked them to DM me in the story, So once they DM me in the story, I can ask a qualifying question. Are you serious about learning property? The answer is yes. Okay. only then you drive them to the sales page to take a trial for your, membership, right? Does this strategy make sense? By the way, type in yes if this strategy makes sense. It's what we call the IG story selling strategy. So we create a story, right? Okay, probably better if I demonstrate it to you. You guys want me to demonstrate it for you? Type in yes if you'd like me to demonstrate it for you. Okay, let me demonstrate this for you live so you can see exactly how this works. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So now I'm in my Instagram. So if I want to create a story, right, I click this button here that says plus. So I click the plus sign, right? Now this is a story, right? Does this make sense? Now this is a story. Okay. So now I do Instagram story. So I might take a picture like this, right? Then if I swipe up, I can do a poll, right? So if I do a poll like this, do you want to lose weight, right? So now I can put a yes or no there. So every single person that clicks yes or no, I will get their details, right? It shows me who clicked yes and who clicked no. And then I can private message that person to say, hey, you said no, right? Or you said yes. So now they can click which one, right? So now what happens is when I post that, right? When I post it, what happens is I start generating lots of leads. And when people see my story, they can then comment on the post, right? For example, if I go into my stories now, actually you can't see it on this. So if you go into my stories, you can DM in the stories. So then the question a lot of you ask me, and some of them asked me this before, John, how do I automate my DMs? Would you like to know the software and AI to show you how to do DMs automated? Type in yes. Type in yes. So this software is called customers.ai. All right, customers.ai. And here's how it works. We come here and we can create an automation. Look at this on Instagram. Look how cool this is. Right. So what you do is when you download this software, you connect this software with Instagram. Right. By the way, a lot of things I'm teaching right now, these are my platinum mentoring strategies. Right. This is why they're so advanced. This is why, if a lot of people go, John, like, how do you put this stuff together? Like, this is very strategic, generates a lot of leads and makes a lot of money. So IG comments, that means respond to comments. IG keywords, respond to people's keywords. IG live autoresponder, respond to people's live. Look at this. This one we want. IG story mentions. How many of you noticed that when you were mentioning me in a post on Instagram, you would tag John Lee, John_Lee_official, and it would automatically send you a message automatically. Yes or no? Kath says, oh, yes, I mentioned in the post and I've already got your free mini course. Exactly. Right. So now you can basically say anyone who mentions me in a post or leaves a comment on the post, and you can say what comment it is. So IG comment. So let's click on this. Right. So let's no questions right now. So now you can say, look, it says, this comment autoresponder will reply to comments on all posts or specific posts. And then it says how to respond to all comments, right? Respond to all comments, respond only to comments that contain following keywords. If I click on this, the keyword could be property, right? So I add property to this. So that means in my story, I say something like, hey, if you want to learn about property, comment the word property in my story. So they comment property and bang, that will trigger the automation to bring people to me. So I can say, thanks for being interested in property. All right. Click the link to get a free trial to my membership. Right? And then I click save. So that means anytime someone comments the word property in my story, it will automatically send them this. And then I can add a widget, right? So I can add timings. I can say things like, you know, let's wait, let's delay this. So delay. Okay, delay this for maybe 1 hour. And then send them another message. So click add. And now I want to add some text on here. Make sure you send this to a friend as well, so you can learn together. All right, save. And then I can put a URL in there. And then I can add another one, delay. I can delay it again if I want to. So delay for 4 hours. Add something else. Add another text in there, right? Make sure you take action because blah, 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 www.jl.club, right? Click save, right? By the way, how many think this is an insane strategy? Type in yes if you think it's an insane strategy. Type in yes. It's crazy, right? Because stories get you a lot of reach. You get a lot of eyeballs on you. And then people see you. And then what happens is you use customers.ai, you link it to Instagram, and it just automatically This is why you don't have to be a slave to social media. It automates the entire process for you based on the keyword, and it qualifies your audience as well, right? This is level 4, level 5 content I'm giving you right now, right? This is, again, a lot of the stuff that we teach in the Social Media Business Bootcamp. Vicky says, freaking amazing, right? Now, again, imagine you didn't do any memberships. Imagine you didn't do any, you don't have anything to sell. You're completely new to this. Could you take customers.ai and start implementing this for other Instagram accounts and charge them a monthly subscription to manage their social media automation for them? Right? Well, John's today's social media trading is amazing. Millie, this is nothing compared to the 3-day, right? The Social Media Business Bootcamp 3-day that I run, which is going to be coming up, is 3 days on this stuff. How to build out your funnels, how to build out the automation, automated emails that go out, building a database, growing on Facebook, getting 10,000 followers on Facebook, getting 10,000 followers on Instagram, the hack to build a community, building your broadcast list. I wish I could talk about all that stuff here, but it took me 3 days to teach you all the membership stuff to create recurring income. There's so much more to learn, right? Is this in the academy? Yes, it is. If you go to the marketing university, everything I talked about, all my events are basically in the marketing university, right? So this is an amazing strategy. So let me ask you a question. What's one thing that you could lead with on an Instagram story? What question would you ask people to get them to say yes? And what keyword would you use to get them to type in to trigger that comment automation, right? I'll give you a few moments to type it in. Ready and go. Create to earn more money. Are you getting engaged soon? That's a nice question. Yes or no. And it says energy. You want to learn more about AI? Good. I'll give you a few moments. Type it in. Oh. right there. Pause right there. Good. So, let me bring this up. Okay. So we got some great questions there. Excellent. Okay. Next, number 6 is your 2 cents strategy. This is a beautiful strategy to use to get conversions. Why? Because what's happening is you're adding your value on top of somebody else's value. And in exchange, you're getting access to those people's followers. So for example, what you want to do is you want to find people's posts, comment on their posts. And what happens is, let's say you comment a lot of my posts, a lot of my followers, if they like your comment, because I've got a lot of, followers, they will start following you, right? We can add value, okay, on the grid, and then we can sell it in your stories. So what happens is people start following you, then you keep posting on your grid on Instagram, and then you basically sell in your stories, right? Marco says, if I only want to buy the marketing university, is it possible? Yes, you can buy everything separately if you want, but it is 10,000 a year to get access to that. So what happens is, for example, let's say I go to, a post. So let's say I click on this post, right?
Sometimes in life, it's been the right.
Right. So let's say I come in here. I would come in here and I would just leave a comment. I would say, hey, I love this content, and what you said about XYZ really makes sense. Right. And so what happens is people start reading that, and then when they start reading it, they go, oh, I love this person's comment. And then what they do is they click on your profile, right? And then they go to your profile like this. Then they check out your content on your grid here. They go, wow, this is pretty cool. Wow, I love this, right? And then they scroll to the top, and they click follow. And that's how you gain a follower. Does that make sense, by the way? This is, again, another great strategy to start putting content out there so people know who you are. And because people know who you are, you're now gaining more followers doing this. This is one of many ways you can do this, right? Haley says, thank you, John. It's been absolutely amazing. Okay, we'll jump on now. Cool. Can you show that again? Yeah, sure. Here it is. So number 1, find posts in your niche. Leave a comment on the post so their followers can read your comment. If they like your comment, they'll start following you. Now they're following you. You add value to your profile. And then from there, you then sell it in your stories, right? And then use the reels. All these things make a massive difference. And I just see too many people not really focusing on this specific strategy, just this one strategy. Because why 2 cents? It's like, okay, I'll give you my 2 cents. I'll give you my 2 cents. I'll give you my advice. Because your 2 cents adds credibility to your answer, right? So if I talk about, oh, here's how you invest in property in London, I'll leave my 2 cents. Oh, by the way, property in London, a great place to find property is this postcode here. I bought one here. Here's some strategies, right? So correct a metaphor. It's like, I'm going to give you my advice in that post. Okay. And this is what worked for me. You're absolutely right. So I just really think that, and again, some of you asking about the marketing university. Yes, we do cover this in the marketing